Hi everyone, this is Vivi. Hopefully you are enjoying the spring weather so far. Here in Nova Scotia, you can start seeing the little flowers popping out the ground now, and the temperature is this week especially is so sunny and it's around 10 degrees, so it's super nice. It's nice to finally has warm weather again. So I do have some updates about my life that I want to share with everyone here. Um, First of all, I want to give you some updates about my chronic hive situation, and I am happy to say that I have been free of medication for hive for the last 4 months. I waited for several months to make sure that I really know it, that I don't take medication anymore, to finally say this. So I'm pretty proud of myself for finally overcoming hive. It is still there, however, but it's manageable, and I have found a way to stay off medication because I don't believe in Western medication. There's always some kind of implication or some kind of adverse effect, and if I can stay off medication, it's possible. That's kind of my goal, and right now I'm not taking any kind of medication anymore, so my body has felt a lot better. But let me explain to you the process, and maybe I'm just gonna summarize a little bit about everything that I have done for the last several years. And if you have watched my last two videos about hives, you probably know that I started having hives since 2019, summer 2019. So I've been managing it for almost 3 years. And it's not completely going away though, but I have done a lot of things the last several years in order to heal myself with hive. So in the beginning, the first 1.5 or the first 2 years, I was taking antihistamine every single day to manage the itchiness. And after that, in summer 2021, I started doing fasting and also taking homeopathic medicine, and that helps a lot. I also did acupuncture as well. So the combination of all that helped to manage my hive, and I didn't take medication every day anymore, but I started to wean off the medication, like the antihistamine, from every day to every other day, then slowly every 2 days, and eventually once a week until November last year. So that was kind of like my journey, and along the way I also do fasting regularly 1 day a week, to kind of detox my body every week, and that also helps as well with the hive, as well as being a little mindful about what I eat, not eating too much spicy food anymore, and gum products. Gums is pretty natural and it's not really bad, but it can upset digestion, and if you have bad digestive system, it can also create allergy and upsetting the hives even more. So I kind of slowly go off this kind of food and make sure that my food doesn't contain these ingredients, like satin gum or guar gum or all that stuff. And so until the November, end of November last year, I was still taking antihistamine 1 day a week, sometimes every 8 days, but most of the time is 7 days a week that I take antihistamine. So this is the thing. Last September last year, there was a lot of things going on with me emotionally. Started the last half of the year, last year, and in September, there was a lot of dramas with my family. My dad was really sick, and he had a brain tumor, and he has a stroke. So he was admitted to the hospital because half of his body was paralyzed. And I was in Newfoundland at that time. And my mom asked me to go back to Vietnam, but at the time I was in the process of getting my citizenship. So I didn't have the passport, and I had to give up my permanent resident card, which means that I cannot leave Canada, because if I leave Canada, I wouldn't be go back in. So there was a lot of things going on at that time, and I felt really stuck, and it just really affect my emotional body. And there's some other dramas that was going on during that time as well. A lot of drama with my family. It wasn't a happy time for me, and I think that being in Newfoundland, that was like a little retreat for me to help me to kind of stay calm and central during that storm. I think there was Fiona storm out in the physicality, but like inside, I felt like I also have to deal with the Fiona storm inside of me, because there was like so much going on. And it was great. I finally got the citizenship from Canada during that time, but I didn't have the passport. I could travel with my Vietnamese passport, but then I won't be able to come back to Canada. I don't have any document to come back to Canada, so I couldn't. And my dad was really sick, and I was afraid that something would happen to him, and I wouldn't be able to see him if he passed away. But thankfully, he had a surgery, and everything went really well. By the end of the year, and he was able to recover pretty nicely. So I went ahead. That was the reason why I went ahead at the end of the year. I went ahead to get the passport, the Canadian passport, just so if anything happened, then I can I can get a flight ticket and go back to Vietnam during the emergency. And then I realized that I couldn't just do that because of all the politics, because I would have to apply for a visa to go back to Vietnam now. They don't accept, they don't recognize the dual citizenship. So if I have Canadian passport, then I cannot use Vietnamese passport. I have to get a visa to go back to Vietnam. Anyhow, that was a really stressful time for me, and I couldn't find anyone to look after Marco So I couldn't go by the end of the year last year, and I was constantly stressed out dealing with the weather in the cold weather over here. Because I don't know if I should go back to Vietnam, and then I have to go look for an apartment, and then I have to find someone to look after Marco. So that was a really stressful time in during the winter. And I decided that I'm gonna need help. And there was a lot of energetic events going on at that time as well, and there was so much stress, so much drama, and my body was constantly tired, like all the time. Like for the half the month of November and beginning of December, my body was exhausted. Like I felt like the whole month I couldn't do anything. I was so tired. So I decided to do something, and I reached out to a hypnotherapist here in Halifax. As you know, that I do everything pretty much holistic. I didn't want to take any medicine. The only medicine I take is for my hive. The reason I reached out to her is because I wanted to kind of have some guidance and answers for everything that I was going through at the time, with my family and my personal life. So the type of hypnotherapy that I did was quantum hypnotherapy, which it's a bit different than the regular hypnotherapy, which is just get in touch with your subconscious mind to change your thinking pattern. This is very different. Like, she took me to, it's kind of like regression hypnotherapy, where you went back into your past life. So your subconscious will choose a past life that is relevant for you, with everything that's going on in your life, and the lessons that you need to learn from it so that you can release. You can release like all the burdens and like heavy energy that may affect you at this time, and also to connect with the higher self, to see what it has to say, with everything that going on in your life, and guidance, advice. So that was the type of hypnotherapy that I was doing. Now, I was just kind of researching, and I was kind of curious. I didn't know what it really was. I just wanted to have some answers for my life. And so I just went into the session without having any expectation. And so she asked me to think of the questions that I want to ask first. The question that I want to ask my subconscious or subconscious or my higher self. That's what I call. And you can ask pretty much anything. So you can choose different categories about your health, your relationships, your career, your life purpose. So think about those questions so that you can ask your higher self, so you can receive the guidance and what you should do with your life. Of course, not all the questions are going to be answered, but what is most relevant, like your subconscious or your superconscious, your higher self will kind of choose for you what is most relevant for you at this time. And so I have heard about this type of hypnotherapy, and I thought it was really interesting. And because of all the turmoil and the turbulence that I was going through, I was like, I need some answer, I need some help. And for the categories about health, I did mention that I have HIVE, and that was the main issue that I have, and also back pain, that I kind of wanted to know, like, why I have back pains and why I have HIVE. And during the hypnosis, she guided me to a healing temple. Now, I'm only sharing my journey, like things that I experienced. Like in this video, I'm not going to say that I want to convince everyone to believe on this supernatural, but it did happen to me, and I'm so amazed by it. But I'm not going to convince to everyone through my video that everything is real. Your mind is super powerful. Like, you can create pretty much everything with your mind, and I truly believe that. No matter what you believe, I'm simply sharing my experience, and the effect that it has on me afterward is mind-blowing, is phenomenal, is unbelievable. Because through that session, my hives has reduced like 80%, probably like 80%. And now I'm just kind of like managing it every day now. And that was the reason, hypnotherapy was the reason that I stay off medication completely now. Like, for 4 months, I'm not like taking any medication. So I'm so amazed by this kind of treatment. I didn't have like all the answers for all the questions that I brought to the sessions, and I think that everything kind of happened. Do get the answers in your own time, and just by the healing that I received from that session, I think it was already so worth it. And like, I realized that the answers kind of like slowly came to me from different sources, sometimes from downloads, sometimes from books, or like other relevant videos, and it just came to me somehow. It wasn't through the hypnotherapy, but sometimes it's like it was in my dream, and sometimes in my meditation, and I started having downloads and visions about things. It was really, really cool. It's so fascinating. If you don't believe it, then that's fine. I'm sharing my experience, and I'm just so amazed by it. So that's why I want to do this video. And if you consider hypnotherapy, then I highly recommend trying it out and see what it can do for you. And I did it only one session. Only one session, and my hive was healed, literally, like maybe not like 100%, but 80 and 90% of it. And I will share with you later like how I'm able to manage it without medication now. So yeah, the hypnotherapist, she guided me to a healing temple, and it was, the image were like so clear in my mind. Like, I could still remember everything, and I was still aware during the session. Like, I wasn't completely like in trance or floating anywhere, but I could feel a lot of energy that flowing into my body, and I see images in my mind. I saw images, and it was very clear, very sharp, even though I was still aware. I don't know. You just kind of have to go and experience it, like to know what it really feels like. It's really cool and it's really interesting. It's kind of hard to explain. It's like you kind of half awake and half at the dream stage. For me, I don't think that I went really deep to the point that I didn't remember anything. I think that's what they call the somnambulistic stage, which is the deepest stage of hypnosis. I think I was kind of like above that. But even so, there was still a lot of healing already took place at that stage. Like when your mind kind of slow down and you can still see images in your mind, and it was very sharp, it was very clear, and it still feel like pretty real. And I saw myself being healed by my guides, like light beings. I see them as light, and they started like doing a lot of healing on me, and I was sitting in a crystal cave with a pool of water, and these beings, they was like walking energetically on my body. Maybe that's imagination, I don't know, but even so, it heals. It doesn't matter if it's real or not. What's more important is the result in the end. And I was fascinated because I felt so much energy, like I like kind of like tingling sensation like all over my body, and a lot of heat, like so much heat. It doesn't feel like when you do Reiki, it feels different. It's not like that. But it's like I feel like energy like around my body and a lot of heat around me. It was so fascinating. These things that you can't explain. Scientifically, you can't explain. You can only go and experience it, like to know what it feels like. That's why I'm so fascinated with energy healing and holistic healing in general, because I'm just really interested in mystery, and I'm just so curious, like trying to find answers for everything. And on these things I cannot find answers, I have to go experience it. Like if science cannot give me answers for everything, I have to experience this and see whether it does anything. And it did, and the results were just so phenomenal. Like after that one session, that day was actually the 7th day, and I was supposed to take medication on the next day, but I realized that, oh, my body is not itchy after I have the session. So I didn't take medication. So I was like, let's see. Because I went to the healing temple like during the hypnosis, and I there was a lot of healing taking place. So I kind of wanted to see like if it affects, it helps with my hive. And I didn't take medication after the session, and I was kind of amazed that the day after the hypnosis sessions was the 7th day, so I was supposed to take medication, but I didn't. So I wanted to see how far I can go without medication, because I didn't feel any itchy, so there was no reason for me to take medication. And the next day my body could still feel like that energy, like kind of like tingling, especially after when I do meditation. And my mind, for several days, I was still kind of like very slow and very I felt like I'm floating. Like I was still aware of everything for several days, but like I'm just so calm and just my mood was just everything is slowed down. A- and my mind is like flowing somewhere. It's not like I can't drive. It's not anything like I can still do everything like functionally, but my mind was just kind of like constantly like in a different dimension. That's how I could describe it. And I received so many downloads about my life, especially when I go into meditation and I started to receive answers for uh, things that I asked for and even things that I didn't ask for. And I started to kind of get um, things that kind of like started to make sense. Things that I didn't quite understand about my life before, now it started to make sense. So during that time, after a week, right? After a week of this session, during that time, I felt like I have a draw to singing bowl, and something like my intuition was telling me that I needed to listen to singing bowls, and I started to feel itchy. Like after a week, like my skin started to feel itchy again. Very little, it's not so much. That's why it started like in the sole of my feet. I could feel that it started to feel itchy under my skin. And then I had the feeling that I needed to meditate with singing bowl. So I used the meditation app, the Insight Timer, and if you watch me for a long time, you know how much I love that app, the Insight Timer. I tell everyone about Insight Timer app. And I searched for some of the track about singing bowl meditation. And when I started listening to it, that feeling of being in the hypnosis session like started to come up. Like I feel a lot of heat and tingling sensations like all over my body. And then my itchiness started to go away, and it's like it feels like dissolve. It melts. It's like the itchiness is, I don't know how to describe these things. Like it just melts, or it just dissolved, and I didn't feel itchy anymore. Like the effect is very much instant. It's faster than taking antihistamine. Like if I just listen to the singing bowl, my body, I feel the energy in my body right away, and the itchiness goes away immediately. It's so crazy. Like it's like during that session, it's kind of unlocked something in me, and now I'm so sensitive with sound, especially with the sing bowl. And when I listen to it, and that's the reason why I bought the bowl. I'm so obsessed with the singing bowl now. I don't know. It's the phone may not pick up very well the sound of the singing bowl, but this is what has helped me to manage my hive every day now. So after the hypnotherapy, the hive started to come back, but it's not as intense as before. Before I felt like extremely itchy, like I have to take medication to let it go right, to reduce the itchiness. But like, as you know, if you take antihistamine, you still take like 20 minutes or like half an hour for the drug to kick in. But with the singing bowl, if I play it now, I can, if my skin feel itchy, then because of the sound, I don't feel itchy. So sometimes I play with my bowl, but every night I listen to the singing bowl for like about, at the minimum, 30 minutes, like normally 45 minutes. That's what I normally do every single night. And I would have to maintain it. Like, it can maintain my body for 24 hours. Like, at night, I feel itchy, like my skin starting to feel itchy again. So whenever I feel itchy, I just do the meditation with singing bowl, and the itchiness goes away like for a whole day. So I have to do this 24 hours every day. And if I skip a day, I can start to feel that the itchiness is slowly increase. And when it does, I just play the bowl, or if I don't have a lot of time, then I just play the bowl. But I have to listen to it like at the average 45 minutes every day in order to maintain the itchiness of my hives. But it's not like extremely itchy anymore. Sometimes I can see redness in my neck or some other parts of my body, but it's not as intense as it used to be. So that's how I am able to stay off medication. And there's just so many other benefits with the meditation with singing bowls anyway. So I don't mind doing that every single day because it helps me someone playing firework outside. It's not even holidays. So yeah, I'm fascinated with it, and I signed up for a sound therapy course. Like after that hypnotherapy, I started to love sound healing, especially with the singing bowl. I just love the sound of it so much, especially like with the one with the lower tone. The lower and the stronger the resonant it is, the better for your body. And I can feel my body is more grounded. I think it's probably the reason why I have HIVE, because I'm not grounded enough. Strange, right? Because I'm in nature a lot. So there's several reasons for me to have hives, and I think one of the reason is this is what I asked during the hypnosis as well, and one of the reasons is because I absorb too much energy, like too sensitive with energy in the surrounding, and so I need to have like very careful energetic hygiene. I think that's the reason. That's the reason why I need the bowl, just to clear my energy every day. So now I have to do like visualization every day to protect myself from absorbing too much negative energy in my surrounding, to reduce with the hives. But the hypnosis has already helped me to clear out a lot of negative energy. And I think some other reasons as well. There's several reasons with that started the hive. So I think it's different for everyone. I don't know, but for me, it wasn't just about the food. I know a lot of people started to have hive because of the allergy and because of the food. it could be one of the reasons, but for me, it was like several different reasons why I have hive. And so yeah, I want to share with you my hive healing journey. And if you like to check out quantum hypnotherapy, like, I highly recommend it. And I think it may be strange, it's very supernatural, but it works for me. And it reduced my hive significantly. Like, out of all the methods that I have tried, that one was, that and the cell healing is probably the best therapy that I have tried, holistic therapy that I have tried to help me with the chronic hive. Okay, so now back to my family story. I finally was able to find someone help me to look after Marco. If nothing goes wrong, I'll be able to go back to Vietnam at ease. Like, my biggest worry is this little guy. Now he's the one that kept me here and not being able to go back to Vietnam, because my dad is so sick. But now he's a lot better. But still, I want to go back to visit my parents, because they're very old now, and I haven't seen them for 5.5 years. I've been in Canada for 5.5 years. I haven't gone back to Vietnam since. So I bought my flight ticket. I recently just bought my flight ticket to go back to Vietnam. And yes, I just got the Vietnamese visa yesterday, so they approved me, and it's pretty easy compared to getting like US visa or Canada visa. It's a lot easier, and you can apply it online. It takes only several days, and it's relatively cheap. It's not too expensive, but this online system is just so sketchy, and it doesn't work very well. It looks horrible. The website looks so horrible. But at least I was able to apply it online, and I was able to get the visa. It's basically just a paper to approve you to go back into the country. In the beginning, I was thinking that maybe I could use 2 passports, and if I get to the Vietnam border, then I could use my Vietnamese passport. But then when I look up deeper into the information, it said that you cannot use 2 passports. So I don't know. It would be risky, and I just didn't want to pay $2,000 for the flight ticket and then not being able to get into Vietnam. So, and because it's a communist country, so it's pretty corrupted as well, and I don't want to get in trouble with them. So I have to get the visa. It's not too expensive. It's only, I think, $25. Might as well get the visa just to be safe. And if I cannot use my Vietnamese passport, then I can just rely on my Canadian passport entirely. So I'm going back to Vietnam end of this month. After 5.5 years, but it's gonna be pretty short trip. I'll stay there for only 2 weeks. I didn't want to stay away from Marco for so long, and because my friend won't be able to look after him for a month, maybe that would be too much. But it's only take 2 days to go there and 2 days to go back. I have to go through 4 different stops Toronto, Vancouver, San Francisco, Japan, and finally get to Vietnam. That is 4 chances that take 2 days to go back. There's no direct flights going like from Halifax to there. It's too expensive flying from here. It's a lot cheaper to go from Vancouver, but I'm in Halifax, Nova Scotia now, so and luckily I'm able to find someone that Marco is familiar with, so he can stay with, so it's not like too much shocking for him, because he really doesn't like stranger. And yeah, I'm finally going back to Vietnam. I don't expect it to be a really happy trip, but because there's just so many dramas in my family, but at least I get to see my dad and my mom because they're not very healthy, and I'll just make the best of it. I miss the food for sure, so that is what I look forward to eat a lot of Vietnamese food. I don't eat as much pork anymore, so I try to stay away from that, but I still love Vietnamese food regardless, and so I look forward to eat a lot of Vietnamese food. I may gain weight when I'm there. And get to see my dad and how he's doing after all that he went through, and also my mom. I actually had an argument with her a little while ago, so I think this trip is to pretty much amend our relationships, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'll try to record video when I'm there, just so you get to know a little bit more about my personal life in Vietnam. I barely talk about it, I know, like I always keep my life very private, and I prefer it to be that way. But yeah, we'll see what will happen. I'll try to record as much as I can, and I'll share with it. I'll share with you guys whenever I feel appropriate on YouTube, and my journey and my story and how everything will play out in the future. And sometimes the reason I feel skeptical share my stories is because sometimes I don't see things in the higher perspective, and when I go on YouTube here, I want to make sure that I emanate positive vibe only, and not radiate like negativities out there, because we don't need any more negativities on this planet, in this world. So that's why I'm very careful about things that I share and things that I say on my YouTube channel, and I prefer to kind of have a whole picture of my life stories and how I'm able to convey on the lessons that I learn, and share that with others so that you can apply it and to your life, or have like a little bit of life reflection from my stories to your stories. So that's what at least that's what I like to do, and yeah, we will see how everything will go. So I try not to ramble as much. Oh, and the last thing that I want to share is I've been exploring a little bit of different type of spirituality and healing therapy as well. And another therapy that I came across is color therapy. It's also called Aurasoma. It's not really cheap, but this bottle here, I've been having sore throat, a little bit of sore throat and itchiness in my neck, and it doesn't really relate to HIVE. So I discover color therapy and I decided I wanted to try it out. I've been doing a lot of explorations with different kind of healings for the last several months now because of it was just a lot going on in the end of 2022 and that's why I stopped doing recording video for quite a while too because I have to take care of myself first. So I apologize that my video has not been consistent because I still have to manage with myself and my healing journey and everything's that going on in with my life as well. And the last several months I was doing a lot of explorations with different kind of healing modalities as well. And the more I learn, the more I'm fascinated and just amazed with the world of spirituality. This is like the next level for me. Like after Reiki, this is the next level. So this is like, it's made out of like essential oil, crystals, herbs, and like the way that you work with it is also very spiritual and it's very intuitive as well because you have to like intuitively choose your color and somehow I choose this one. It's just so beautiful. And I've been having issues with my throat. So there's a lot of meanings in the colors as well, and they explain that to you in the session. And this color is for the throat. It's like for the throat chakra. Like you would have to choose several bottles and then you narrow it down to one bottle. And this one is the one that I feel drawn to the most. Just intuitively picking it. And it works on my throat. Like I haven't feel itchy on my throat anymore. And sometimes it helps with a little bit of sore throat as well. So ever since I applied this, I'm glad that it helps with my throat because I started having itchiness and sore throat like the day after the equinox, the spring equinox. There's just a lot of cosmic events and cosmic energy like bombarded, like so many things going on, and my body is like getting more and more sensitive like every day. I don't know if like other people out there feel it, especially my YouTube viewers here. I don't know if you guys can feel the energy, but some other people that I know, friends, they people that are very spiritual, they could feel a lot of like this cosmic energy as well, and I can definitely feel it in my body. Sometimes it's more than usual. So that's what I've been practicing now with color therapy and sound therapy, like to kind of manage myself. And with some other things, especially I still do Reiki and I just obtained my master certificate, master level with Reiki as well. So I'm very happy to get to the next level with energy healing. Okay, I'm gonna stop ramble so much. That's pretty much everything's going on in my life. Doing a lot of exploration with spirituality, with different kind of healing modalities, and heal myself, heal my hive, being free of all kind of medication, and basically just maintained myself and my health to get better and better every day, especially with my mood, with my emotion, to make sure that I stay high vibe only and not absorbing too much negativities out there. That's my goal. And also I look forward to go back to Vietnam, see my family and eat a lot of Vietnamese food. Well, that is up with me these days, and I hope you're staying well. Enjoy the spring, enjoy the flowers and the sunny days, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye. Hey guys, did you check out my book yet? It's now available on Amazon and Lulu. You can also find out more information on my website livingthroughalchemy.com. And if you enjoyed the book, Please leave me a review. Thank you so much. Bye.